Hi, I'm Bill Rice, and I help founders and startups build go-to-marketing strategies so that you can focus on building exceptional products and services. And today, I want to talk to you about KPIs, specifically KPIs that matter. We want to measure success kind of in early stage startups, and sometimes those KPIs should be and are a little bit simpler than the KPIs that maybe you're familiar with in larger organizations that you've worked with. So I want to start again with KPIs that really matter for startups. First and foremost, there is just audience, right? Whenever you're a founder or an entrepreneur and you're just starting something up, building a product or an early service, you need to start to gather audience around you. Not a lot of us actually have a big follower base as we're starting that entrepreneurial journey. So we want to start, again, figuring out how to grow an audience, and then that is the most important thing to watch in the early stages. So what does that mean as we translate it into metrics? That's traffic on your website, could be traffic or followers or subscribers on your platforms. I'm a big advocate for starting on platforms, things like Substack and LinkedIn and X and YouTube, places that are platforms that already have audiences that include your ICPs that you can tap into and you can attract with content creation or putting your message and yourself personally out into the marketplace. So that first KPI needs to be around audience. Like, what are you acquiring and developing as an audience that can be then leveraged into sales and marketing and then ultimately into a client or customer base. Number two is kind of the next evolution. Once we've started to accumulate some audience, we want to see that audience begin to engage with us. A lot of times early on, that's with us personally as a founder or an entrepreneur, and later to engage with kind of the overall company or the content and the things that we're creating in the form of sales and marketing material or responding to our outreach as our sales motion starts to get up and running, right? So what does that engagement look like? So early on, that could be opening emails, opening your Substack email list, your cold outreach. It could be opens, it could be clicks on your website, clicks to your content on some of these platforms. It could be, and this is ideally where you want to get to, comments and replies, people that are actively engaging with you, talking back to you, giving you feedback, making comments, potentially even advocating your content into their audiences and those sorts of things. So again, number two, we're looking for some engagement. We're looking for that audience to start getting active and show some propensity to advocate you and be loyal to you and those sorts of things. The third piece of that journey, as we might kind of move through, is we want to then start to see transactions or conversions and whatever that might be early on. So again, there's a lot of different forms of that, particularly as we're starting early stage versus we're starting to get some traction and mature. Early on, we want to see people downloading things, people starting to buy stuff as early as possible. You want to actually see if people will hand you money, right? So that can be small things, that can be MVPs, that can be just as simple as maybe a digital course or a download. So you want to, again, see some sort of exchange of value, you giving them value and them giving you some sort of attention or ideally a payment and revenue. And then ultimately, we want to track that in the form of new customers and clients. And then the last step of this is we're assuming that we're kind of started to get these little flywheels and gears working together. We've got our audience building, that audience is starting to engage, and the engaged audience is starting to buy some things, and I'm kind of moving down my funnel. And then ultimately, I've acquired some customers, right? I have customers and I have clients. I want to make sure that I have KPIs around retention, because this, again, is going to tell me whether or not my product or my service, my company is ultimately going to survive at first and then ultimately thrive. So I want to start to follow some KPIs around retention. Again, early on, that can be just people sticking around, like re-engaging on your content, coming back to your website, subscribing to your email list. Again, maybe that first conversion is just people sticking around and being there and making you a part of their daily activities and workflow, and getting some of that knowledge and expertise transfer of value that you're handing out into the market. Then, of course, people that are actually buying more stuff. So they've made a transaction, they've become a client, or are they buying more? Are they getting more licenses? Are they getting deeper into the product? Are they accepting new versions of that product with positive feedback? So something around just buying more stuff or getting deeper embedded with you as a part of their overall stack or a part of their business objective they're trying to accomplish with your product or service. So a deepening of that relationship, and then ultimately buying new stuff, right? So if you're expanding your product base or there are new tiers in that product, you want to see those clients and customers actually buying the new stuff that you're adding onto the market or you're putting out into the marketplace. And we want to start tracking that as a retention metric. And then, of course, the ultimate retention metric is kind of how long those customers are with you. But early on, we just want to see them buying stuff. We want to see them buying more stuff. We want to see them kind of re-upping, getting renewals and those sorts of things. And then ultimately, there's probably some retention metrics, or there is going to be some retention metrics around just length of time that they're customers with you, and what is that lifetime value of the customer ultimately. So if you enjoyed this and you want more lead generation, demand generation tactics from me, I would encourage you to like and subscribe. And if you want to focus on building your products and your services, and you want somebody else to handle the demand generation, that's exactly what we do at BillRiceStrategy.com. I'd encourage you to check that out. And I'll see you on the next video.